Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, you folks, sampler video series videos I've been doing for the while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, at the time I'm doing this, folks, you remember back in, I don't know, I'll go ahead and say, 2001, 2002, something like that, when Cartoon Network just did an entire weekend of just old Scooby-Doo episodes. Not even a pup named Scooby-Doo or any of the newer stuff. They just the old stuff, and they just ran it over and over and over again. I sat in front of my TV and I watched so much of that. Cause say what you want, I mean, yeah, Scooby-Doo, the animation wasn't great. The plots were typically pretty derivative. And especially near the end, they really were just reaching, what would Scrappy-Doo and then all the Scooby-Doo cousins and such. But damn it all, folks, Scooby-Doo. But anyway, I'm inside the truck, as you can see. But I'm not wearing a Grody work shirt. Hooray! In fact, I've been doing that less and less. In fact, I made mention of this in one of my other videos. I typically prefer to do the videos from inside the house, what with the back room, and it's got a bit of a vibe, I like to think. But that's where I keep my hamsters and my animals and such, and I got an air purifier going and stuff. I got to get that room cleaned up a little bit before I do reviews in there again. So truck reviews for the time being. Plus today I went out and got lunch, so it made sense to do in the truck. But anyway, I am wearing a cool shirt. When I wear a cool shirt, I like to highlight the cool shirt. What cool shirt am I wearing, folks? Boom! Dosu Kinata shirt. Who the fuck is Dosu Kinata? Well, folks, you gotta be a bit of an OG to represent the Dosu Kinata. He's a character from an anime called Naruto. Naruto is obviously extremely popular. It has been going for a very long time. To the extent where there were PS1 games for Naruto. Only in Japan, but they're real, trust me. I was a huge Naruto fan back in my last year of high school, and then into my first few years out of high school. Once the time skip happened and became Shippuden, yeah, I kept up with it very tangentially, but I love Dosu. He's been my favorite character in the series the entire run. For the longest time, I was like, he's still alive! I still believe it! Like the WWE guy who's like, I still believe! But, he's probably dead. But I don't care. And I love having a Dosu Keita shirt. But anyway, folks, what am I trying for y'all today? What are we doing? Well, I didn't bring up Scooby-Doo for no reason because, folks, we're doing boom! It's a styrofoam cup. It's big. So, aside from being a styrofoam cup, it's actually what's in the styrofoam cup that I'm going to be reviewing. This, folks, is the Pepsi Milkshake from Scooby's. If you're not familiar with Scooby's, Scooby's is a, hot dog. Mostly, I think they're kind of known for their hot dogs. They're typically known as, Scooby's Red Hots. But they have beefs, they have pizza puffs, the general Chicago fare, stuff that you're going to get in, a lot of places. I like Scooby's a lot. I actually recently did a comparison video between Scooby's and Portillo's for their Chicago-style hot dogs. Go check that out if you're interested. And at the time, I made note of this because it wasn't up on their menu. It was a separate thing entirely. But I was like, oh, I'll go back and get it. So that's happening today. Pepsi Milkshake, folks, especially in the world we live in, what with the pilk, the whole thing, the TikTok, maybe? I don't know, folks. I'm wearing a friggin' Dosu Kinata shirt. What the fuck do I know about TikTok? Not a damn thing. But hopefully, this will be a good milkshake. Scooby's tends to have good milkshakes. Their Green River milkshake, oh! Love it. Let's give it a shot. First and foremost, this is an extremely thick milkshake. I think I might be in love with this in the way that Leonardo DiCaprio was in love with his female counterpart, whose name I cannot remember off the top of my head. I apologize. Got to see her naked, though. I'm just saying that's the thing that happened in that movie. But in the movie Titanic, like, I want to hold this up, like, at the front of a boat and, like, have it be a whole thing. James Cameron may or may not be involved. He's a bit of a douche canoe, isn't he? Like, I mean, the guy, he's clearly very serious about his work, and I give him so much credit for that. But he's also way too high up his own ass. Like, you can tell that guy just sniffs his own farts. Sorry. James Cameron, you're a solid filmmaker. Dial it back a little bit. Stop taking yourself so seriously. This is super duper good. Like, I've had a Dr. Pepper milkshake. You could actually get them from Burger King for a while. Sadly, they no longer offer them. That's like the closest comparison I can go off of this. The thing is, with something like this, you really have to sort of get the mixture right. Because, I mean, you know, ultimately, you have like root beer floats, which are, you know, kind of like root beer shakes. Although I've had root beer shakes too, and they're definitely different. But it's a similar kind of, you know, chemistry going on. And the thing is, you have to do it right. You have to go over there and get the proportions right, otherwise it's going to be a little bit off. With this, it's mostly you're getting like a delicious ice cream flavor, you know, it's like vanilla soft serve. But then you start to, as you drink more of it, you start to get this wonderful tinge of Pepsi flavor. And it works extra nice because Pepsi, you know, in comparison to Coke, it's typically a sweeter cola beverage. So I don't know how it would have done with Coke. Be interesting to see. Probably somewhat similar, if we're honest. But I do think that Pepsi is probably the better option here because I do think that extra sweetness, it helps kind of push through the taste of the, you know, the vanilla soft serve. It's so good. And it's done properly because as much as you want the Pepsi flavor, it's a Pepsi milkshake, you don't want it to be overwhelming. You still want it to be a milkshake experience. And that's what it does really properly. Like I said, you initially, first hit you get is kind of a, you know, the vanilla soft serve. And then, like I said, you get this really nice Pepsi flavor that just kind of makes its way throughout it. But it doesn't reach anything close to, like, you know, proper Pepsi flavor levels. Like it's more soothing with the ice cream accompanying it. And that's just super good. Now I'm going to say this right now. Is this my favorite milkshake I've ever had? No. Is it my favorite milkshake from Scooby's? No, the Green River Shake is still the best. That thing, if there is a Midwest food hall of fame, the Green River Shake needs to fucking be in there because damn it all, that's just delicious. This, though, is still really good. To the extent where, so two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it to other people? I would get it again, and that's actually saying a lot because if I'm going to go to Scooby's and I'm going to get a shake, I'm getting a Green River Shake. That's what happens. But this is the first time when I've had an actual, I'm going to say respectable contender. It's not going to win the belt. It's not, okay? The Green River Shake for me is still the Muhammad Ali of Scooby shakes. It just is. But I don't have a Joe Foreman or George Foreman. Sorry. I mean, yeah, he lost to Ali, but you know, he's still a notable guy. He went on and won a championship later on. Now he has successful grills. But yes, so this is kind of the George Foreman of it. It's plucky. It's got a familiar aspect to it, but in a new package. And it's just really good. And I'm a guy who loves a fucking milkshake, folks. Clearly, you can see yeah. This is really good. I like this a lot. And it is super thick. But it's all the wonderfulness of ice cream with a familiar Pepsi flair. I can't hate on that, folks. It lies somewhere between a root beer float and a Dr. Pepper milkshake. It's somewhere in between there, and I love it. So I'm definitely down. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me on this one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. And folks, if you can go over there and have yourselves a truly Pepsi-tastic rest of your life, I mean, yeah, Coke is typically, they typically have the top spot. But at the end of the day, I mean, Pepsi's still super well known. They still have a lot of really good products. I recently did a review of their Sierra Mist replacement, Starry. And I actually did a comparison video between that and Sierra Mist. Go watch that video if you're interested. Well, Starry, I don't, it's a little bit here. It's, I like Sierra Mist. But anyway, 2 final things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. Boy, that shirt's wrinkly. But what you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You try not to be an asshole. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, folks. Trust me, I know. That's why I put try at the very beginning of that. That's very intentional. Because at the end of the day, folks, I know that for me, there's going to be times in my life when I fail. And I know for, probably most, if not all of you, that's probably also going to be the case. But when those situations occur, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholeness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there, if you happen to live in the Midwest area, you're going to go out to a Scooby's Red Hots. You're going to get yourself a Pepsi milkshake. I don't know how available it is. I don't know if it's like every Scooby's or if it's just the one by me. Because there's only one other Scooby's that I know directly where the location is, and it's way out of my way, so I can't say for certain. But let's say you go over there and you're fortunate enough to find one, you try one, and it's you're enjoying it like I am. But then you go over there and you're like, well, wait a second now. If this is delicious, what other types of shakes are there that we're not going over there and having regularly available to us? And then you just go off on a mission. You're trying literally every combination. You start off with other sodas and stuff. You're like, all right, let's put some Starry in there. And you're like, Hey, maybe you're lucky to find some Sierra Mist. You're like, okay, all right, that's good. And you're just going through, folks. You're just going through. And if you want, you can use my videos as as a guideline. I've reviewed lots of soda. Just saying. But you just keep going through it, folks. But eventually you get into like less and less conventional things. You're like tree bark milkshake, and that's probably not very good. But then it's like you're just going with it. But eventually you end up going over there and creating some sort of mad homunculi milkshake that threatens to go over there and capture the entire planet, a la Akira style. Okay, except it's a milkshake. At which point in time you go over there and you get yourself a space laser gun, yell out Tetsuo a bunch of times, you shoot the milkshake, I guess its name is Tetsuo now, and, then you go over there and you kind of created the problem, but you also saved the world a little bit, so it's a little bit here or there. Or conversely, you could just go out and find a place that serves really good milkshakes and have yourself a milkshake, because milkshakes are always good. Bye!